Beneath the hot desert sands of southern Peru, an ancient mystery lies waiting to be uncovered. The Nazca lines, massive, intricate geoglyphs that stretch across the dry plains, have intrigued explorers, archaeologists, and scientists for centuries. But what if these incredible shapes weren't just decorative art or primitive rituals? What if they were part of something much larger, something far more advanced and mysterious than we've ever imagined? Today, we'll dive deep into the puzzling origins of these colossal designs. Were they created as a form of astronomical calendar? Were they meant for extraterrestrials? Or could there be another, hidden explanation behind their scale and precision? Stay tuned as we explore the hidden secrets of the Nazca lines, the mysteries they hold, and what they can tell us about a long-lost civilization. The Nazca lines cover an area of 50 square kilometers in southern Peru, and they're made up of over 800 straight lines, 300 figures of animals, plants, and humans, all etched into the Earth's surface. These massive designs have been puzzling archaeologists for decades, and many still wonder how a civilization living over 2,000 years ago managed to create such vast and intricate shapes that can only be fully appreciated from the sky. The lines were created by the Nazca people between 500 BCE and 500 CE, yet their purpose remains one of the most enduring mysteries of the ancient world. The fact that these geoglyphs were created in a desert, where the winds and the harsh environment would have erased any evidence over time, suggests that they were created with extraordinary care and foresight. But why? Why would an ancient civilization go to the trouble of creating such large-scale works that could only be appreciated from the sky? Some researchers have proposed that these geoglyphs might have been used as astronomical markers, but there are still many other theories that challenge this explanation. Let's take a look at some of these fascinating ideas. Theories of origin. One of the most popular theories is that the Nazca lines were created as an astronomical calendar. According to this hypothesis, the ancient Nazca people used these lines to track the movement of celestial bodies, such as the sun, moon, and stars. Some of the lines are aligned with the solstices, while others point to significant constellations and astronomical events. This suggests that the Nazca had a deep understanding of the cosmos, potentially far ahead of other ancient civilizations. But here's the twist: why make these giant designs on the Earth's surface, only visible from the air? How did the Nazca people have the ability to plan these colossal figures with such precision, given that there was no technology or flight at the time? This is where things get even more interesting. Some theorists believe that the lines were used for rituals and ceremonies related to celestial events, and that the figures were made to honor the gods or to attract good fortune, prosperity, or even rain. While some scholars maintain that these lines were part of an astronomical observatory system, there's another idea that challenges this theory. The lines were a form of religious or spiritual communication. This leads us to the next intriguing question: the alien hypothesis. Now, let's turn to one of the most fascinating theories surrounding the Nazca lines. Could these gigantic designs have been made with the intention of communicating with extraterrestrial beings? Some theorists argue that the lines were created to send signals to visitors from the sky, possibly extraterrestrials who were thought to visit the Earth. But what makes this theory particularly interesting is that it would explain why these figures were so large and so intricate. Perhaps they were created to be visible only to beings in the sky, not humans on the ground. When you consider the sheer scale of the lines and their alignment with the heavens, it begins to raise some strange questions. Could the Nazca people have been preparing for visitors from outer space, using the Earth itself as a message board to communicate with cosmic travelers? If they had knowledge of extraterrestrial life, would they have built these geoglyphs specifically for beings that could only view them from above? It's a far-fetched theory, but one that sparks the imagination and continues to be explored. Given the precise layout of the lines and their alignment with celestial phenomena, could ancient cultures have known more about extraterrestrial life than we've ever realized? The water connection. Another fascinating theory revolves around water, one of the most precious resources in the arid Nazca region. The Nazca lines could have been part of a complex water ritual system, designed to attract rain or direct people to sources of fresh water in the region. Some of the geoglyphs, such as the figure of a giant hummingbird, seem to align with underground water channels, suggesting that the lines might have been part of an ancient hydrological system. Water is seen as a life-giving force in many ancient cultures, and the Nazca were no exception. The lines could have served as a physical manifestation of their reverence for water, pointing to sacred places or guiding people toward vital resources. The Nazca people were incredibly resourceful, and they developed an advanced system of aqueducts to bring water to the region. This could have been tied directly to the lines themselves. The Nazca region is one of the driest places on Earth. rainfall is incredibly scarce, and the ancient Nazca people faced immense challenges when it came to accessing and preserving water. This harsh environment led the Nazca to develop sophisticated techniques for managing and conserving water, one of the most precious resources in the arid desert. This brings us to one of the more fascinating theories surrounding the Nazca lines, the idea that the lines were connected to an elaborate water ritual system. According to this theory, the lines were not only sacred symbols but served a functional purpose in guiding the Nazca people to water sources, directing them toward places where water could be found or where rituals related to water and rain were performed. The Nazca lines seem to intersect with underground aqueducts, which the Nazca people created to channel water from distant sources and bring it to the region. This intricate system of aqueducts helped the Nazca thrive in such an inhospitable environment by directing rainwater into the aquifers beneath the desert. But how did they create such a vast network without modern engineering tools? And could the Nazca lines have been an integral part of this water management system? Some researchers have suggested that the lines were used as markers to show the locations of these aqueducts, or that they were part of a ceremonial system designed to invoke the power of water through ritual. The geoglyphs, then, could have acted as pathways for ritual participants to follow, guiding them to sacred places where ceremonies were held to call upon the gods for rain or fertility. The presence of lines that appear to be directed toward the regions with known underground water sources raises additional questions. Could the Nazca lines be a map, signaling the direction of important water reserves, sacred wells, or springs, thus enabling the people to navigate a vast and arid landscape? Moreover, there are designs, like the image of the giant hummingbird, that are believed to symbolize the connection to the water element. Hummingbirds are associated with water because of their connection to rain and fertility in many ancient cultures. If the Nazca people saw water as a divine force, perhaps the figures were created to honor or attract the gods of water, ensuring the survival of their civilization. The Nazca lines' potential connection to water rituals also highlights a deeper, spiritual element to their construction. In such a dry and unforgiving landscape, water would have been considered a gift from the gods, something that needed to be respected, honored, and carefully invoked through sacred rituals. The Nazca might have believed that by creating these lines, they were channeling the power of water and rain, bringing them closer to the divine forces responsible for their prosperity. Could the Nazca lines have been created not only for religious purposes but also as a physical map of water resources, perhaps used by travelers or ritual participants? This theory raises the possibility that the lines were a tool to help sustain life in one of the driest places on Earth. The unexplained scale. The true mystery of the Nazca lines, however, lies in their sheer scale. Some figures are so large, measuring up to 1,200 feet across, that they can only be fully appreciated from the air. How did the Nazca people, without aerial views, create such enormous shapes with such incredible precision? How did they measure and calculate such vast distances to ensure the lines lined up perfectly, with no modern tools? It's a mystery that continues to perplex archaeologists and researchers. Could the Nazca civilization have had access to knowledge of mathematics and geometry that was far more advanced than we give them credit for? And if so, how did they develop these skills without the tools we use today? So, what was the true purpose of the Nazca lines? Were they astronomical tools, messages to extraterrestrial beings, or part of an ancient water system? Did the Nazca civilization possess knowledge and technology that has been lost to time? These questions remain unanswered, and the mystery of the Nazca lines continues to intrigue archaeologists and explorers alike. As we continue to study the lines, we may uncover more about the true nature of this ancient civilization. But one thing is certain, the Nazca lines are not just relics of the past, they're a puzzle waiting to be solved. And who knows what other secrets lie hidden beneath the surface, waiting for us to discover. Join us on our next adventure tomorrow when we will uncover the dark secrets of alchemy.